Hey everyone, come on in. Come on in. Check out the latest and the greatest from the greatest channel for toys on the internet, bar none. Anyway, thanks for joining me as always, and I hope you had a chance to grab a little beverage and caffeinate yourselves or get a little sugar in your blood so you can stay awake for this cool Mirrorman car. And before I get into it, as always, please take a second to subscribe. It would be greatly appreciated. And tell your friends to subscribe, and your parents, and your cousins, and your kids. Whoever you want to know about this cool, cultural, historic items that I present to you almost on a daily basis. Well, at least every other day. Anyway, with that out of the way, check this out. This is a 70s Mirrorman car. And what makes this car cool? Well, everything. Even though it's a later car. Man, this thing is like brand new. Check that out. Like, look at this box. If you were going to collect just for this box alone, how cool is that? Mirrorman came to save our planet like the rest of these Japanese heroes from, I'm going to call these the Omicrons. How is it? Omicron? The Omicron? Omicron. Like Omicron Persei 8. Remember that from Futurama? Well, now we have the Omicron variant to deal with. And you know, it's almost a meme now. They had a Omicron movie in 1963, I believe, and that was an Italian movie called the Omicron something or other, where it was the end of the planet. So how appropriate would that movie be? Anyway, in context, so you have Mirrorman cruising along and his open wheel racer. And lo and behold, you have these intergalactic monsters. He's like, what the F? So he jumps out and does his karate thing, shoots that old ninja star at him. And by the way, this was made by Masudaya. I mean, this is just the coolest depiction. You know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of like if James Bond was an anime hero, he would be depicted like this in this kind of car. Anyway, so that's your cool box. And it has that like shiny, just made feel to it, like some of the ST Masudaya boxes do, like some of those later Horikawa robots. They look so fresh and shiny. Anyway, speaking of fresh and shiny, you're not going to get much shinier than this, because I mean to tell you, this looks like they just built this thing. It is pristine. Now, this body is all tin. I'd have to research my Masudaya toys to see if this body was used on other vehicles. I suspect it is. Actually, when I'm looking at these pontoon fenders, I bet you they had wheels tucked underneath there as potentially a space vehicle. But I'd have to research it more. So anyway, here's your cool graphics. You have Mirrorman striking the pose, as I say. Not doing the pose, striking the pose. And of course, you have that star that's reminiscent of Nova. And here he is battling away for our safety. Would you defer your safety to these Japanese character heroes? I would. I think they would be more honorable and noble than the current crop. Anyway, you have some more litho details here. And by the way, look at the dash. It's pretty cool. Now, as they got later, they're not as sophisticated. It's the art style tapered off a little bit. I got to be honest. If I'm evaluating these toys, I will give you my honest interpretations. And as the toys got newer, the lithography got a little weaker as far as artistic details and creativity. But that's okay, because the rest of the toy is pretty cool. And here you have your exhaust ports and your Masudaya logo and your character sticker. These are some pretty wide rubber, too, and they look like, almost like old Kriegers on there. Man, these guys were doing it all. And you know what's funny? Inside there you have like a suspension setup. It looks like a wishbone suspension. That was kind of cool that they did that. Anyway, so that's your car. And then, of course, you have Mirrorman's giant head. It looks like a bobblehead, right? It turns a little bit, not too much, but a little play. Probably not even supposed to touch it. There he is, checking out the situation with his cool visors there. And anyway, as far as the car, well, you know, look, it makes a shit ton of noise, pardon the French. And he just rolls. I do like if you hear it, it almost sounds like exhaust. The noise. that rumble when you turn the wheels, like you're revving the motor. You know, I mean, obviously it's the friction motor, but it actually depicts an engine sound pretty accurately. And that's pretty much it. The spoiler, by the way, is plastic. I would detract to give it a demerit for that, but you know, it's still overall cool. And you do have the vinyl head, so I mean, at some point, these toys started getting closer to the mid '70s. They really started cheapening them up, but not this one. This one's still primarily tin with a cool graphic box, and then just overall a really cool character, hero, Japanese early vintage character space toy. No, space car, alien car. I don't know what the hell you want to call it. Anyway, that's it for your Mirrorman in his open wheel roadster. If you like this kind of stuff, don't forget to subscribe, please, and share the videos with toy groups everywhere, Twitter, Facebook, wherever the heck you look at toys. Just say, hey man, check out this channel so we can get this thing to grow faster than it is. And if you like it, thumb it up. And if you have any remarks, leave them and I'll respond. With that, thanks again for your time. And I will talk to you later.